Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator and I'm pleased to show you how to make this card. And this technique today I'm calling Theater Spotlight. And that's this part right here along with the little spotlight part there. For club, this is what your sample will look like. So let's get started. Today I'm using the Zany Zoo bundle. It's the dies and the stamp set. I'm using the little turtle, and there is a die to cut that out. I'm also using the radiating dies. I'm using this border. This is on the online exclusives, so it's while supplies last, but it's on the online exclusives only. Okay. So the first thing we need is our kit, and I have a piece of lemon lolly designer paper, or not designer paper, cardstock, and it's 2 by 3 1/4, I believe. I could look at the instructions. Yes, 2 by 3 1/4. And I will also list these things on the website. So we will first take a pencil and mark about 3/4 inches in. You can use your grid paper or a ruler or whatever, and I'm just guessing because I know measurements pretty well. So I'm just making a little mark 3/4 inches from the top left. Don't measure like this because it won't work out. So you will put 3/4 inches on the top. Now we can either take our scissors, you can draw a line if you don't feel confident. I also have my little paper cutter here. Unfortunately it's not available to the public, but any paper cutter will do. So what I'm doing is putting the top, I mark where that little mark is down to the corner here. And I think for those who wouldn't have this paper cutter, I'll just draw it in, then it'll be easier for you. So I'm taking my corner to that mark, again using pencil. Oops, can't cut or draw. And that's what you'll be cutting, like that. So now I'll just cut it real quick. You can use the paper cutter or whatever you want. Okay. So now you have 2 pieces. This little piece will be used for your sample, and that'll be right here. So I'll set that aside. Now we will stamp some music notes that are in that set, just kind of randomly, but not all the way to the bottom because it's supposed to be him singing. And then the inside also has some music notes. Now we will take a circle that's a 2-inch circle. Doesn't have to be from a dies. We also have a 2-inch punch, and we will, it's one of those hard to explain things. Alright, so we also take a 1-inch by 3 inches and just kind of set this on here just for a minute just to see how wide. This is actually 2 inches, so you'll be able to see how wide that is. The purpose now is to sponge or blend the circle on the bottom. We're going to take pecan pie and lightly go over this whole piece. You can do this by using a block and putting the ink on there. It usually does work better. You'll get the ink on there. Lightly do the entire piece. You don't want it too dark yet because you will be, if it gets too dark, you can use that on your other part. So now we are going to take our circle and use it as a mask. I'm putting it toward the right of the piece, probably about 1/2 inch down. You can see this is going to line up on that. So now I'm going to hold it. I'm going to do it this way so I can hang on to it. And you will generously put the ink on this part of it. going over this circle. And you want to just make it pretty solid. It does dry lighter than what it appears, and even if it's sort of spotty, it's kind of a neat look. We'll get as much of it as we can. There we go. And when you remove the circle, you still have a little bit of the color in there, but yet the outside is darker. You can just wash off your brush and your block with water. Put this away. Now we will take our, this is sort of a tricky part the way I'm doing it, but that's me always doing tricky parts. So we have a 3x3 piece of designer series paper from the Zany Zoo collection. Here is my radiant die that cut out, and black cardstock. So what I'm going to do is just put adhesive on along one side. Doesn't matter which, but the left side seems to work better, so you can slide everything in from the right. So I'm putting just a little bit of adhesive. I don't want the real sticky stuff because it tends to pull up. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm putting this on the left side. And this will not be even all the way around. The sides are wider than the top and bottom, just because that's the way the dies are made. So I'm just setting that down like so. Now we will take our designer paper, and we're going to do this sort of all together, but not quite. This piece is going to fit inside this piece like so, and this little shadow part will be underneath here and over the top. So you can kind of place it so that it's going to fit under the frame. You want to put that on there like so. Again, you just have to kind of play with it a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this right onto my designer paper, and making sure that this is extending over our frame, especially on the sides. And this is going to go a little bit below. Alright, so you can see I've extended it off the side about 1/4 of an inch. That's why it's 1/4 of an inch over, so you have a little bit of play work with it. So now we're going to lay this here and make sure that this is going to fit, which it will. And that's how it's going to look. So I can put adhesive on the back top of this just to line it up. And so what you want to make sure is your circle here lines up with the edge of the, kind of right there, the edge of this line coming down. So this is a 90-degree angle, and this is an angle. Okay, now we have all this kind of glued together. Now we're going to slide it underneath our frame. So we'll put our adhesive on the back. Okay. And now we're going to lift up our frame, gently slide it underneath so that it fits. Very sticky. Okay, like so. So none of the black shows. This needs to go up a little bit. There we go. And push it down. Now the right side will go underneath the frame, which is what you want. So that's how you get your piece so that it fits nicely under the frame, even though it's multiple pieces. Now we will simply take our adhesive and put it along the bottom here, along the side. It's easier than trying to put it on the frame itself. Make sure you don't extend it too far, so you'll have to, like I extended it a little bit too much here. Okay, so put it on there and remove any glue if you did go over. If you have a glue eraser that works, my finger's working fine for right now. Okay, so that's how you get the technique to work. Not to work, but to look. My first card, I did this with sponging and found it really wasn't necessary to sponge the entire piece because the yellow, the lemon lolly, works perfectly without having to sponge everything. To finish the card, we have our little turtle. I've already cut it out and colored it, or not colored it, stamped it. I'm just going to put some Daffodil Delight, dark, colors pretty quickly. And then I'm using the I want dark Parakeet Party. Using the skinny ends. There won't be really any blending with this, but it colors nicely. I color his hand, his little shell. Goes quickly. And then some gray or smoky slate for his little microphone. I believe I have light smoky slate. And that's it. So now we will put some dimensionals on him. Don't need a lot. Should have grabbed the small ones, but you need 2 big ones or maybe a couple small ones. Alright, and he just gets set right here. And then the last piece is adding the sentiment, and I just have a little piece of 1 by whatever, and we will stamp that. It says happy birthday to you. It's in the stamp set. We'll cut it out. And this one I'm doing fussy cutting, so it looks kind of cute. Like so. Okay, and we'll add another dimensional to the back. There. And now we have just a really cute card for a birthday. It can be for an adult or for a child. So thanks for watching and have a great day.